You're gonna play with him because you couldn't play with Daemon. And you know what I mean by playing. Do you know how long it's gonna take him to take out all of this armor? She's not ready for that. Okay, it's less passionate, but still, they are sweet. And it's not an incest love relationship, okay. So for sure I'm gonna prefer this one. You know what Alicent said about having two suitors? Don't play the incest card, you know, because you wanted her to marry her brother. Remember? She's not like she was before.
The princess was spied last evening in a pleasure house. What of it?
Do you know
she
with
was
who?
carrying on with her uncle. They were engaged in behaviours unbecoming of a maiden. What behaviours?
Oh, are we already gonna go with the details?
Went to my bedchamber, accusing my daughter of something. I speak it plainly.
You built all of that? Oh, you have too much time for yourself.
Coupling. This is a lie. We have been lied to.
You want to be blind right there.
You such secret ambition that you would have my daughter stop, awaiting your best chance to destroy her reputation.
Yes!
No such intent, Your Grace. Please,
Oh, you.
your designs are obvious. Do you wish to have your blood?
But it doesn't mean that it's wrong right there.
To destroy mine own. Leave me. Once.
You're gonna ask her, she's gonna tell you the truth, or she's gonna act weirdly, so you're gonna be ashamed of doubting of auto. The air question is gonna be on the table again.
Were you with your uncle? Oh, I took me to the city for some fun. Tell me the whole of it, Rhaenyra. Your father accused me of something. Left the castle after dark. You fucked Daemon in a pleasure house.
Almost. Oh, you know.
Isn't it fine? Accusation.
You can see that it was right. She was surprised that you know.
Your Grace, sister, you must know I would never. You're gonna believe such gossip. My father is no
You're
gossip.
lying.
Well, certainly he's been misled. I am the princess. To question my virtue is an act of treason.
Maybe, but come on, Rhaenyra.
So you are accusing me of slanders. You overheard?
You're blaming her. You're making her feel guilty. Rhaenyra, not fair.
It's getting late, and I asked to go home. The Daemon wished to continue. As he was my escort, I had no real choice. Continue. In a brothel.
Because of what she lives, you know,
I was only a
Alicent.
spectator. I didn't do anything.
It's not fair. It's...
And then Daemon sank into his cups and abandoned me for some whore.
I know that she can't say the truth like directly like that, but at the same time to lie, it's not just to hide the truth, like she making such a lie right there.
So you did not. Must I truly refute that? Daemon never touched me.
Your
I
lips.
swear this to you upon the memory of my mother. It was foolish of you to place yourself in a position where your virtue could even come into question.
She's never gonna forgive you that when she's gonna learn the truth.
So have I.
To lie about it and to swear on your mother.
Ruin everything. I know. Your Grace.
done, but with someone else.
You defiled her. Oh! What does it matter, brother? When we were Rhaenyra's age, we fucked our way through most of the brothels on the street of Silk. We were young men. Your niece.
Sarah's a woman grown. Better first experience be with me than Summer Hall.
You have ruined her. It gives a fuck what some lord thinks. You are the dragon. Your word is truth and law.
It's your niece and you did that.
I want Rhaenyra. I take her as she is and wed her in the tradition of our house.
You are no conqueror. You are a plague, sent to destroy me.
Return the house of the dragon to its proper glory.
Of course. It's not my daughter you lust for, is it?
It's also the throne.
Go back to the family. To your lawful wife. Strive to restore whatever scrap of honor remains, as long as you are gone from my side for good.
I'm sure he has true feelings for Rhaenyra. To wed her, it's also for the throne. You're gonna know that it was the truth.
It is not in Rhaenyra's nature to be deceitful. I cannot say the same for your brother.
You believe he lied?
How often does he speak the pure truth?
How does confessing to such things serve him?
By reducing you.
Daemon and Rhaenyra share the blood of the dragon. They're restless and chaotic.
She swore to me that she remains a maiden, and I believe her.
Oh, Alicent.
Before Edmund's death, the last of the Valyrian pyromancers hit his sounding the steel.
From my blood come the prince that was promised, and his will be the song of ice and fire.
'Tis larger than the throne. The king. 'Tis larger than you. And your desires. Jaehaerys would have disinherited you.
For a lie?
The truth does not matter, Rhaenyra. Only perception. You have exposed yourself.
What people are
Now
gonna
you're
think?
exposed. Your courtship is at an end. You will wed Selene of Velaryon, and you will do so without protest.
No!
Is that what we do about the vulture who perches upon your throne?
What vulture?
Your hand.
Otto Hightower has served two kings loyally and faithfully.
He placed well his daughter.
And I will do my duties there, and with Selene. You must first do yours as king.
You are the man that taught me how to be king.
Well, you honor me, your grace.
How long did it take you to choose yourself over your king? I will never recover from Emma's death. But Alicent, she took me through the worst of my grief. I only now realize how well calculated it was.
Only now?
The queen loves you.
She likes him. She has some affection for him like you have for an old
Your
person.
judgment, a loyal and must tell his king a discomforting truth from time to time, your grace. If he doesn't, he's failed as a servant. You were a faithful servant, Otto.
You were.
The crown and the realm, both of you a debt, can never be repaid. I can no longer trust your judgment.
That's what we wanted, you know, for him to disappear. But it bothering me a little, the fact that right there is disappearing because he said the truth.
I took great care in its preparation. The tea, princess, from the king, which will rid you of any unwanted consequences.
Kids. To not have kids. He didn't believe you. It's the proof, you know, that he didn't believe her at all, that he did that, he was forced to fire Otto to prove that he believes her for the reputation, for the appearances. everyone now is gonna think that yes, he has the proof that she didn't do it because he fired him, he fired Otto because of that lie. But him, he doesn't believe you. And he believes Daemon. And again, he's right, Daemon had really no interest to lie during that moment. I'm wondering about the fact that, you know, right there she promised to marry the sea snake's son for political reasons, for alliances and stuff like that. Okay, but she's not a virgin anymore, so is it gonna be known at some point that she was wedded and she was not pure, you know, she was not a virgin? And at that moment everyone is gonna know that she lied, that everything was a lie and all of that. And I'm wondering about the fact that we had her having that passionate moment with Daemon. We know that it didn't come to an end. But after that, she had that end with another sweet moment, less passionate, but more sweet, more amusing in a way for her, but also like, I don't think that she loves him, but she appreciates him a lot, and that, I said it, that was a sweet moment. And they did it, you know, so like for the consequences for Daemon of that moment, we know the consequences of it. He's forced to go back to his wife, like his brother doesn't believe him anymore. Like at the beginning of this episode, he came into this place as the guy who helped them with the stepstones, like truly you did something great. He had the honors of his brother, of the king, of everyone, and he's finishing it being drunk and being dishonored in a way, being forced to go back to exile again. Like really, that's the evolution of Daemon during this episode. For Rhaenyra, we have also the consequences of it. You did it, you did something wrong. You did it or not, no matter what, you did something wrong, so you're gonna marry who I'm saying that you're gonna marry. So we have the consequences of it for her. For Criston, we don't have really consequences for him. And I'm wondering about that, about are we gonna see him again? Is he gonna be important again? The fact that we have that moment, you know, the fact that it exists, for me, it means that it's gonna be important for the future. It can't be just a one thing, just a one night thing. It can't be only for that parallel also between Rhaenyra and Alicent, because that parallel already existed because of the moment with Daemon and the moment that Alicent shared with the king. That was already a good parallel. After that, the fact that Rhaenyra, she was with Criston, it was amplifying that parallel. But so it has to have more consequences what she did with Criston. So I think that we're gonna see him again to reveal the truth or to do something, but we're gonna see him again at some point. Yes, the parallel was interesting, was well done. Like during the last episode, it was a big and great parallel all along the episode between the king who can't fight, who can't kill anyone, not even a deer, by himself, and with Daemon who killed people and fought during entire years, and at the end who is fighting and killing a lot of people on his own. Right there, it's a good parallel between Rhaenyra and Alicent. Alicent, who is married since a long time, who is not happy, who is bored, who is all alone, who is forced to sleep with the king, and she doesn't appreciate that. She's taking no pleasure. That's a duty. That's a rape. We have to call it like it is. Like when you're forced to fuck with someone and you're not taking any pleasure and you're forced to do it, it's a rape. So that, and at the same time we have Rhaenyra, who does everything that she wants, who has a passionate moment with Daemon discovering what is pleasure, who is doing it also with Criston, you know, like having that moment of pleasure and coming to an end. No matter what, she has a moment of love, of desire that Alicent she doesn't have. She's free, she's doing whatever she wants, she's going outside of the palace, also something that Alicent she can't do. She's right there as a prisoner and she's not free. That was a good parallel, and it's gonna be important also for the future. That parallel, the fact that they are so different, that their lives were different, what they want, what they are doing, But also, you know, what is gonna be truly important, it's that lie. Like, Rhaenyra right there, she disappointed me a little because for sure she was not gonna say the truth. I'm not stupid, for sure she was not gonna say the truth. But there is a difference between lying and inventing such a big lie and blaming your friend for doubting of you when you know that she was right, blaming her, making her feel so guilty, putting such a pressure, you know, on her shoulders because she lied. Also the fact that it has consequences for Alicent's dad, you know, like truly your lie right there, Rhaenyra, was a big one and had such an impact and consequences for Alicent to make her feel guilty, to blame her, for her dad to be fired, for the advice that she gave to the king, like she's gonna feel responsible on that also. That when Alicent is gonna know the truth, because one day she's gonna know the truth, that's gonna have a big impact. Yes, at some point I truly believe that she's gonna know the truth because in France we have an expression, I don't know how to translate it in English, it's really like si le mensonge prend l'ascenseur, la vérité prend peut-être l'escalier, mais elle finit toujours par arriver. Truth is gonna be known at some point, no matter what you're gonna do, no matter what they're all gonna do, at some point truth is gonna be known, and that's gonna be rough for a lot of person. Not for Daemon, who is already suffering the consequences, not for Rhaenyra because she's gonna suffer the consequences, but she's gonna say that she was already punished by it, even if not everyone knew the truth. Her dad, he knows. We have the proof of it at the end. But in fact, you know, the consequences of that lie, when it's gonna be known, they're gonna be more important for Alicent at the end. Not for Daemon, not for Rhaenyra, not for Sir Criston because no one is considering him, not for the king because he knows already the truth, but for Alicent. That's gonna be something. So we didn't have the big time jump during this episode, still not. Really, next episode, middle of the season, we need to have it. I said it, to have time jumps like that at the beginning of each episode. I know why the writers are making them. I know that it's logical because they want to get us to a certain point. I know that it's still great, you know, the fact that each time they are taking one entire episode to explain how a situation happened, you know, so we're gonna have the roots, you know, of stuff for what is gonna happen next on the rest of the season and on the rest of the show. But at the same time, I said it, to have a time jump like that at the beginning of each episode, it's making it harder to connect with the characters because each time we are discovering them in a new situation, in a new mood, in a new thing. So even if we can guess what happened for them during that time jump, still it's taking like half of the episode to do it, and the rest of the episode we are really considering stuff which are happening. So at some point it has to stop, and sooner better. So I really hope that it's gonna be for the episode 5, middle of the season. It could be great. The king, he was already weak during the last episodes, but in a way at the end he was taking the decisions. You know, during the 2 last episodes people were telling him you have to do that, you have to do that. All of the episode it was about the discussion, what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna do, what I should do, what I should do. But at the end he was taking his own decision, and it was not the one that they were all telling him. For his marriage, for what he offered also to Rhaenyra for her wedding. But right there, at the end of this episode, it's not him who is deciding what to do. It's Rhaenyra who is telling him, I'm gonna do that, and you're gonna do that, you're gonna fire Otto. Do you understand? Like, he's not deciding anymore, that's it. You can say that he decided for Daemon, but it was not even a decision, because in fact, it was only rushing a little what would have happened, Daemon going back home. So it's not a decision. His health is not getting better at all. I think that he's gonna die during this season. Maybe even before the end of this season. Maybe, you know, with the big time jump that we're gonna have or something like that. Do I need... you know, I was thinking the big stuff that happened during this episode, for sure Rhaenyra and Daemon, that's the big stuff, but do I need really to talk about it? I mean, I knew that it would happen. You saw it in the beginning of this season when they were close to each other, you know, I was making you winks like that because I knew that it would happen. I think that the writers, they made it right, you know, little by little they implies it, so they did it well. What do I think about that relationship? For sure I'm gonna be against it. It's an incest relationship, I'm not okay with it. Even if we can see that they love each other, they are passionate and stuff like that. That's an incest, guys. That's also an uncle, you know, an old guy and a young girl. So that's a question of blood for sure. They are members of the same family. That's a question of how old everyone is during that moment. That's a question of interest because, okay, the desire that you have for each other is real, can't be denied. But also, Daemon, to wed Rhaenyra, it was not only about your feelings, it was also to have the throne. You can't deny that, neither. I'm against it. Yes, I'm against it. Do I prefer the relationship, you know, the feelings that maybe Criston and also Rhaenyra, they had together? Yes, because they are sweet. We can see that it was a sweet moment that they shared, and we saw during that moment and also before that he's truly respectful with her, with her position, you know, as a princess and as the heir, but also for what she thinks, what she wants, and that's really cool. So for sure I'm gonna appreciate more that relationship between these two, these feelings between these two, but they are not love feelings neither. I think that maybe he has true feelings for her when her during that moment, she has an affection for him, she appreciates him and all, but she doesn't love him, we can see that. During that moment it was more a question of her pleasure, stuff like that. We saw it, how they filmed that sex scene, and also at the end, her eyes, her look, it was not for him, it was for Daemon, you know, for what she imagined. So, but still, I think that it could be great for that relationship to come back on the table at some point for revealing the truth, or no matter what, for something else. It could be great. She's really gonna marry the other guy? Why not? But it means that we're gonna introduce a new character, we're gonna discover a new character, it's gonna be already the episode 5 and it's gonna be the case. I don't know what I think about it. It's gonna depend on how they're gonna do it. It was a great episode. You know, at first I thought that it would be a long one, because with the return of Daemon like that, at the beginning I was like, okay, so it means that we're gonna have discussions between the two brothers, and after that discussion between Daemon and Rhaenyra. They seem to do something, you know, parallel between Alicent and Rhaenyra, so we're gonna have discussions like that, but I didn't think that it would be, you know, that interesting. After the last episode, in which we had that big battle fight at the end, which was so great, I was like, okay, maybe it's gonna feel like they are slowing down the rhythm and it's gonna be less exciting and interesting. And at the end, I didn't see the time passing during this episode, like truly. It passed like that, like it was a good episode, it was a good rhythm, it was well done. No, it was cool. Tell me what did you think about this episode and what happened during it. For sure, the relationship between Daemon and Rhaenyra, a lot of people are gonna talk about it. I said what I said about it. Okay, they are passionate, okay, they love each other, but it's an incest. Uncle and niece, you know, and someone old, someone really young, and the situation, everyone interest, and no, I'm not okay with it. Okay, it's all for me and for you for today, so it's all for me for now, so bye for now, bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Hey.